Okay, hopefully my AirPods are working. They should be working. And if they're not working, then they're not. But if somebody could pop in and hit me up with a comment and no, that would be fantastic. And I'm going to invite a few peeps here and see if somebody can give me a holler and let me know that my audio is actually working. That would be amazing. I'm going to just invite a few more people on that I know will want to check this out. And take two, I'm feeling it. So yeah, if somebody can hit me up in the comments and let me know that my earpiece is working, that would be amazing. This is such a super powerful way to end the year. And I love talking about this. So it's a good thing that I do, because I'm going to do this training all over again for take two. Super pumped. And it's really, as leaders, I think we are really freaking good at setting goals, creating resolutions, and then having to stick to those. This isn't about that, right? Closing out your year in a really powerful way is kind of circulating the energy and not staying stuck in what do I need to do? What didn't I get accomplished in 2018? And creating a really low vibe feeling, right? This is about empowering yourself and celebrating in the deepest way, connecting to that energy, embodying that, and then letting that be how you start 2019. So creating a ritual around this has been really powerful for me over the past few years. I've learned lessons, I've added to my ritual, I've shifted things around, but the point is it's creating a ritual and really experiencing it. So light a candle, play some really inspiring music, go someplace where you feel super inspired. A couple hours. I'm going to do this. I started today and I will do some more tomorrow. I'd like to do it the 2 days before New Year's Eve and close out my year. And I'm going to give you guys a few things that I run through in my ritual, what I do, and it's super fun. And it's just a couple hours that you're going to take for yourself. You're going to call that in. And again, go somewhere you feel inspired, put on some inspiring clothing, listen to inspiring music, grab a cup of tea. You'll want to toast some champagne later, so perhaps tea first, but whatever feels good to you. And what you're going to do is you're actually going to get out your journals from the whole year. You're going to pull up your calendar, so whatever calendar program you use, from all of 2018, all of the files that you have on your computer, maybe keep them in a year, and you're just going to really go in and reflect on everything that has gone on in 2018. You've got a record of it. So start with your journal. And I made this mistake, no judgment, but I learned a very powerful lesson for myself a few years ago. I used to journal. I've journaled since I'm 10 years old. So I used to journal, finish up a journal, and I would throw it out. And I was like, oh, well, I journaled, I got stuff out, I worked through things, and I'm done. And I don't want to store them anywhere, so just throw them out. Well, now I have totally relinquished that. And I actually do my own journals. I have them custom made. I actually create them. And it's such an awesome thing. And I do it month to month now. So at the end of the year, I have 12 of these. And I start January 2018, and I start looking at oh, what were the intentions I set for the month? And how did everything go? And I read through my days. I read through what I did, what I felt, and I look for insight. And I just sit with that. And I lean into those feelings. And I see what pattern happened throughout the year. What kept coming back for me throughout the year? And so that's where I start. And it's a couple hours, and it's just really sitting in that peaceful reflection. And the next thing I do is I take a look at my calendar, and I look across my year, and I have things color-coded in my calendar. So I look at my mellow yellow time and what I did when I was relaxing. I look at my green machine time, what I did when I was creating and working in business. I look at my blue sky time, what was the time I spent, planning and visualizing the future? And then how much time did I spend in my red tape doing administrative shopping, running errands, things like that. And again, just looking at for those insights, for those magical moments, for those things where I'm like, wow, that felt so good. And I take a minute and I relive that memory. Memories are so powerful, right? And we can play them in the theater of our mind anytime we want, and it opens up our heart, it expands our hearts. And that's how you want to close out your year, with that kind of energy, with this expansive heart, especially as we step into a new year. And 2019 is the year of creation. So how are we opening up, right? Creating space to open up our creativity to step into 2019 like a clean slate. So you've now taken stock, you've reflected, and you've started to see some patterns of things that may have showed up for you. For a reason, everything shows up perfectly for you. The next thing I do is I make a list. It has 3 sections. And really, I do it in 3 columns, but you could do this in a graph. You could do this, whatever speaks to you. And the 3 sections I look at after taking stock of my year, the first one is my alliances. And my alliances are like my partnerships, my relationships. And I look at, well, what connections did I make this year that were new, that were profound and soul stirring? What relationships did I reignite this year? What relationships did I continue to nurture and flourish with? And I look at those people that appeared in my field. And again, I could see appointments in my calendar. I can see, across my journal, and I'm going to reach out to every single person, and I'm going to say thank you. And I'm going to be specific, and not just like, hey, thanks for being in my life, but hey, remember when we met up on June 27th and we had such a soul-stirring conversation over a glass of wine? We talked about putting together this idea that would really serve the planet. Boom, right? And it felt so good, and I'm so grateful for our connection. And you just start to do that and feel into that energy and that expansiveness, and you're reaching out to people in a meaningful way and lighting up their day, because maybe they're calling that in. I'm calling in being the recipient of somebody's appreciation. And that mutual exchange, it imprints you and starts out your year with how can I call in more of that? That felt really good, and I'm honoring these alliances, and I'm open to receiving more amazing beings of light into my life and nurturing the relationships that I do have that make me feel awesome. And then seeing where it's like, oh, you know what, that relationship was really, really challenging for me. That was painful, but this is an opportunity to celebrate that pain as well, because again, that showed up for you to shift into a state of growth. So being able to celebrate that as well, because this isn't about taking old past pain and bringing it with you into a new year. This is about making a decision to close out on that pain, close the loop, release. And one of the best ways that we can release is in gratitude. So even if it's a painful relationship, which I know I've had many this year, it's leaning in and saying, I'm grateful that this person showed up to trigger me in this way so that I could step into what I need to heal. And now can I thank them? Maybe not actually them, but can I thank them energetically and send out love and light, knowing that they showed up perfectly for me to receive that experience so that I could grow. The next section is services. And you can say this is your business, this is like what what you do for a living, but I like to say services because in this, I really look at what did I create this year? What did I give birth to this year? So you're looking past year and you're like, what did I offer the world, right? What did I give? What did I birth? What did I create? Were there programs you created for your business, ideas that you shared with your company? What was it that I created? If you're an entrepreneur, did I launch something that had an impact on people? And again, wow, it's now getting to celebrate. Here are these things that I did that didn't exist before that are now out there, have elevated someone, something, or some, you know, something in some way. That's amazing, right? And we want to call in more of that in 2019. It's taking stock of what we've actually done already. The last column is abundance. And when I say abundance, I always think abundance all around me, but also the abundance within. So going inside, like, did I feel abundant in my health? Did I feel abundant in my ability to give my unique energy out to the world, to elevate, to help, to serve? Did I feel abundant in my financial health? Did I call in financial prosperity? Did I feel abundant in my environment? Did I surround with people and places that allowed me to stay expansive? So looking back on your year, but right, what you felt prosperous in, and then calling in more of that. Celebrate all of it, even those sticking points, again, because they're just simply showing you an opportunity to grow in 2019. Now, if you've worked with me in the past as a coach, you know that every year I love to, challenge all my clients, me included, to pick a word of the year. What's your word that you really want to embody, right? Last year for me, it was relaxation. So then I look at all of this information that I just pulled in, and I'm like, did I relax more? That's my intention for 2018. So did I show up and support myself? And as I went through, it's like, wow, my biggest insights and my biggest patterns were around being able to forgive myself and allowing relax to come in instead of being push, 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 go, go, go. If you relax, you're lazy. And just allowing myself to be more gentle, and it created more of an easy, flowing, relaxed vibe for me this year. So if you didn't have a word for 2018, that's okay. You can still kind of see what comes up for you, what pattern. But I do challenge you to call in a word that you can really invoke in your soul and in yourself what you want for 2019. It's really exciting to see, like, okay, this is what I'm going to hold and be the umbrella for everything that I'm creating this year. What comes up, and then what feeling, right, can you embody from that? The last thing I do after all of that, this is really fun, this is very interactive, is I do something called joy grading. And this is a great way to speak directly to your subconscious. Your subconscious mind really gets activated from imagery. And we want to, again, invoke the feelings of magical experiences from the past year so that we can anchor them in, we can imprint them, we can embody them, we can feel that energy, and then that's what we want to keep into 2019. So joy grading, it's so simple. See, technology is our friend. Like, I beg to differ with people that are like, technology is, the death and evil, but like, yes, in excess, anything could be that way. But how cool is this? You can literally go into your photos. I do this every year, and you can take a look at all the photos you took for 2018. And then you just dump them into an album called Joy Grid 2018. And then you literally have just take those, you look through your photos, it's like, oh, that was such an awesome experience. Oh, that was such an amazing moment. Oh, that makes, like, you want to get it where you're like, you can feel tingling when you look at that picture. You can feel like the little hairs on the back of your neck stand up in joy and just like that luminescence. And you want to, place those on your joy grid. And then you have this. So what I always suggest my clients do, and I do it for myself, I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to, is create a collage, print it out, and put it somewhere you can stare at it all year round. But over the next 3 or 4 days, just even having that as your screensaver, and just really taking time, give yourself permission to take time and look at each of those pictures and relive the moment. Relive it through the feelings that you had. And what a powerful way to close out a year and enter into a new one. And you to go and just toast yourself, right? You don't need to have a party to have a glass of champagne. Just simply sit there and honor yourself and how you've grown and how you touch people's lives and allow them to touch yours. And that's what you perhaps can then call in for the team. I hope my audio worked, and I hope this was helpful. And I am so excited for the kind of magic that you're going to create in 2019. And it is the year of creativity, and a lot of us are feeling that buzz. So just let this sink in, let it illuminate you, and let it unleash your greatest gifts for 2019. I am really, if you have any questions, feel free to comment below, and much love. Happy New Year. Yay.